Pasta dishes are really great to do for your family and friends if they're coming around to you for an evening. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a really nice, tasty dish with some of the Green Farm Foods torn smoked chicken and mix that with some chorizo. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to suggest to you when you're getting the chorizo to get one that you can kind of slice yourself, okay, rather than the pre-sliced ones, and just kind of slice that into thick chunks just like so. Now again, I'm going to just get all of that nice smoked paprika and cayenne pepper out of that by frying it up on a kind of a good hot pan. So just put a little bit of oil onto your pan and get your chorizo onto the pan before your pan gets too hot, because you don't want to have it too warm. Just pop that on there. Now with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a variety of vegetables. Again, this is something that you can kind of just use the selection from your fridge at home. What I've got is I've just got some thinly sliced onions there, what I'm going to pop in. I've got some button mushrooms which I've just sliced as well, but again you can kind of use some of the wild or the chestnut mushrooms if you'd prefer. Okay, pop those in, and then I've got a little bit of garlic that you can add in just for added burst. If you're having a romantic night in, you can leave out the garlic if you wish. Now, to just fry up of that, you can just see there that your chorizo instantly kind of just leaks that kind of oil with that spiced cayenne pepper and paprika in there, which will just help to colour your dish nicely for it as well. Again, if you just want to have a little look at our torn smoked chicken, you can just see that that colour is reflected with that lovely 100% natural breast meat there. And again, you can just see that it's just lightly smoked to give you that really good flavour, which will be nice to pop in just a second. Now, once the vegetables have just started to soften here, and again you can see that the chorizo is just dyeing everything that really nice red colour, I'm going to add in some of my cherry tomatoes. Now again, I'm just putting in the cherry tomatoes and I'm leaving them whole. Okay, so just pop all of those in there whole, and again as they cook, they will just get nicely softened down in the pan. And also what I've got is I've got a couple of spears of broccoli. Now with the broccoli, I've broken that into smallish pieces because I don't want to have huge big chunks of broccoli in there, but just a little bit of broccoli would just add a nice colour to it. If you didn't wish to use broccoli, courgette is something that I would suggest to use at this stage as well. Now once those vegetables are just coming to the stage of softening, you can add in our liquids. You can see there that they just have a nice selection of colours in the pan straight away. I'm going to add in some pouring cream into that. Now this sauce is going to be naturally thickened to go with our natural meats that we're adding there. So we're going to just thicken that naturally by process of reduction, and also with a little bit of grated parmesan. So we'll just pop in a little bit of grated parmesan into the sauce at this stage there as well, which will naturally thicken that. I'm going to just reduce the heat on that a small little bit once it has come to the boil, and let that just simmer away for a couple of moments. And then I'm going to season that lightly with a little bit of black pepper. I probably wouldn't use much salt in this because I find that with the chorizo it can tend to be kind of quite strongly flavoured, so no need for much salt in there. You can see the way our sauce is just thickening down nicely. So basically what you're relying on now, you're relying on the tomatoes and you're relying on the broccoli just to soften down a wee little bit. Now, before I add my chicken, if I can just tell you what I've done with the pasta. What I've done here is I've just boiled the pasta until it was completely cooked in accordance to the instructions on the packet. Then what I've done is I've strained that into a colander and I've just ran it under ice cold water. Sometimes people find that their pasta can stick together. You can see now that I have blanched and refreshed my pasta. Okay, so my pasta has been cooked and I've just run it under the water just to stop it from sticking together. So you can see each piece of that pasta is completely separate. That means you can have it in the fridge, you can do up a double batch of it, and maybe if you want to do this dish again tomorrow evening, you could kind of just pop it all together again and you wouldn't have to actually go to the stage of boiling your pasta. Now, as our vegetables continue to cook down here nicely, I'm going to add in this smoked chicken. Okay, we're going to pop that in. All right, so a full packet, 150 grams of that going in there. Now again, this dish works really nice with rice as well, or even if you wanted to turn it into a kind of a pie, to pop it into a casserole dish and put some piped potato topping on there and just bake it in the oven. You've got a really kind of a nice wholesome pie as well for your family and friends to enjoy. Okay, so we just have a wee little taste of that there. The flavour of that sauce is really superb, and you're getting those lovely smoky undertones coming from your chicken there as well. So now what I'm going to do is, you have two choices in terms of presentation. You can decide to kind of just reheat your pasta in some boiling water and pop it into your serving dish. Or what I like to do, I think people now are looking for these one pot wonders where everything is just all together in the pot and served up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take some of my refreshed pasta and I'm going to mix it in, bearing in mind that I suggested to you you could leave some of it for a later occasion. Okay, so just pop all of that in, give it a good stir around, just like so. Doesn't that look lovely? Now, so I'm just ready to serve this up in just a second. It's important to make sure that your kind of pasta is fully reheated through. Because you've gone to the effort of cooling it down, you need to make sure that it's kind of completely reheated back up and scalding hot. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to just serve that into my bowl, and then I'm going to put some grated Parmesan cheese on the top and a little bit of fresh basil. So let's just prepare our basil here. I love basil with pasta. I think it kind of just transports you to the Mediterranean. You just get those really nice flavours, the freshness of the basil. And we're just going to pop a little sprig of that on the top there as well. So as our sauce nicely reheats, you can see it coming right back up to the boil there. We're just going to pop that into our service dish. So you can see with pasta as well, you get a kind of a great amount of pasta out of the dish, all right? So it kind of means that you can serve quite a few people out of the packet there of the smoked chicken. So pop all of that into your nice service dish. Use your kind of nice selection of colours that you've got there as well. And then always just at the end, we're just going to grate it with the tiniest little bit of fresh Parmesan just to finish it off. And again, like the chorizo, it's good to kind of just grate the Parmesan when you require it, as opposed to kind of getting the pre-sliced or pre-grated one, and then just finish off with a tiny little sprig of your basil, just like that. And you've got a lovely Mediterranean inspired dish.